because when it get difficult,
Right.
you have to be able to work through. You have to love. And I used to hear people say it all the time.
Love what you do.
Love what you do. Don't.
The subscribers gonna come and stuff because we living and doing what he want us to do.
God done laid it on our hearts. It's stuff we, things we've been praying since we was young we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you forget.
What's up, y'all?
What's
Welcome back to another podcast episode of Three Hearts, One Beat. I'm Lee.
And I'm Kim.
And I'm V.
And welcome to our show. Okay, so today's topic is living in your dream and not your reality. And my question to mom and sis today is, what does that mean to you? Living in your dream and not in your reality.
Actually, that's a question for all of us.
It is, but you ain't had to do it like that, pimping. But no, it is a question for all of us, but we're going to let V start it off. Go ahead, V.
I like how she did that. Ain't that some stuff? But living in your dream and not your reality could mean different things to different people.
Sure.
So,
true.
Okay, so say you're a person that's an investor, entrepreneur, or whatever, and you're wanting to become something, like you want your business to be prosperous, or you're looking at it as financial, for you and your family. So you have a dream. Your dream is for your business to be what is the means to take care of your family. So basically, you going to work every day. You working in your dream. Even though your reality may be a struggle right now, but you still working in your dream. So you could take it that way. For different people, it could mean something as simple as, okay, so my dream right now is to become a NFL player. Even though they 5, 10, 15, 20 years old, they're not an NFL player yet, an NBA player, a doctor, a lawyer, but they still living.
I like that. That's a good one.
Right. They still, work in the Senate, a president, whatever it is, but you working to it, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, like it to me is similar to what you're saying. Like you say, football players or basketball players or baseball players, when they start out as young kids,
Right.
they living in a dream and not their reality. Their reality is not showing them, okay, you living this lifestyle that you dreaming of at this moment,
Right.
but you continuously working towards it. As long as you continuously just work towards it, that's you living in your dream and not your reality, because your reality could tell you all kind of stuff.
Right.
It could tell you that it's not gonna happen. It could tell you that you dreaming, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. But the whole while, no, you living in your dream because you're working towards it. As long as you're working towards whatever it is you want to be.
Working towards something.
Right. Whether if it's a doctor, a lawyer, an author, a journalist, whatever you want to be, as long as you're moving towards that, I feel like that's you living in your dream and not your reality. You just got to keep on going and never stop, because your reality will show you a whole different picture than what your dream, you know what I'm saying, what you're trying to get towards you out of your dream. What you say, man?
You kind of summed it up, but that is the truth, though. If you, it's almost like you young in life, and you getting yourself ready. You going to school, going to college. You know what you want your reality to end up in. You might want to become a doctor or a lawyer or what have you, but it takes that education and all that to get to where you want to be later in life.
And just like in that case, school may be hard and it may be stressing you out, but you living in your dream. Your dream, you understand, like, it's not going to be like this always.
Right.
So you focus on the bigger picture. And that's to be whoever it is that you want to be. And it's the same way like with faith. When you first start growing your relationship with God, and you know where you want to be at with him.
Right.
Yes.
But you understand the reality that you in right now is not where you striving to be, but all you could do is go back each day, and every day to grow your relationship stronger and
And
stronger
stronger with the Lord.
with the
Right.
Lord. So that's why I say it could mean
A lot of
different things for different people,
Right.
or it could all warp into one and mean
The same
the
thing.
same thing.
Like something, as far as you were speaking of faith, like something I always pray about is just growing a closer relationship with God. And it's crazy because I seen something today when I was scrolling on TikTok, and the girl was saying, you would tell God, I want to get close to you. I want to be one of your chosen ones. I want this. But when he start putting you through those tests, you don't like them. And if your desire is to grow a closer relationship to God, to follow Jesus, to be close to both of them, it's like you go through trials. You go get tested. You're not gonna just, it's not gonna be, oh, I want to follow God. I want to get closer to God, and then you just gonna have an easy road to getting closer to him, because you have to, your faith is
Right.
gonna get tested. It's gonna get tested a lot. And he know what decision you gonna make before you even make it.
Right.
So it's like you just have to continuously work towards it and growing your faith, and that's basically also living in your dream, like you said, all warped into one. Because you have faith that your dreams are gonna come true. Something you dreamed of, say you wanted to be an artist when you was a kid, you at 5 years old picked up a pen and started drawing on stuff. It may have looked like nothing to a lot of people, but to you, it was a masterpiece. To God, it was a masterpiece, because that was the first masterpiece you created towards what you really trying to get towards, but you working towards that dream. You not just woke up and say, oh, I'm gonna do this, and it just appeared.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, you have to work towards it. That's just a part of the dream. You have to climb every mountain that you have to bust through every wall that you have to bust through. You have to take down everything that come your way, because at the end of the day, you have to believe that it's gonna happen for you. And your reality, when you're going through all those things, busting through those walls, it's gonna look like, this don't look like it's gonna happen for me. But the whole while it is happening for you, it's just not happening for you the way you want it to.
Yeah, so it be like that, because like even on our journey, like we didn't started different businesses, trying to find our way. I feel like now we kind of at the point where we know kind of what we want to do, what we trying to touch, where we want to go. God then laid it on our hearts. It's stuff we, things we've been praying since we was young we wanted to do. And sometimes you forget what it is that you talk about and you truly ask God for when you're young. And so when he brought it back in full circle to us and we started talking about it again, like right now we have our podcast and we have other things that's going for us, but it's not where we want it to be. It's just, we could get stuck into our reality right now and be like, oh man, shoot, it's not going, it's not this, it's not that.
Right.
No, but we don't do that. We focus on, okay, like right now, we just started our podcast. Right now, we have 17 subscribers on YouTube after our first video uploaded last week. And I thank God for that, because that's 17 people who see something in us to say, okay, I want to keep up with them. Where if it was on the flip side, you could have been one of them, a person that'd be like, man, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it like I'm not living in the reality. The reality right now is we have 17 subscribers. Our video, I think, have 8, 9 views.
Right.
But this, the short's been bringing people to say, okay, I like the channel, and they subscribing. I could have been like, oh, it's just 17. Oh, I don't want to do this no more. That would be me living in reality.
Right.
But me,
see the bigger picture.
Right.
See, yeah.
Me living in the dream, me living in the dream and seeing the bigger picture, I understand this is the beginning.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to keep growing.
You have to, you just have to be able to work towards it and work through whatever it is you got going on. Like she said, we have things that's going on, but it's like, and it's not what we want it to be. But guess what? It's exactly what God need us to be.
Right.
And that's how you got to take it and step into it.
Because he have us learning things on that journey.
Yes. And grateful for every lesson.
Yeah,
Excuse
you
me.
know, God, like I always say, God, God got you. And when, as we do our podcast, he got us. He gonna, the subscribers gonna come and stuff because we living and doing what he want us to do.
Right. You basically gotta do what brings joy to you on the inside. It gotta be, because when it get difficult,
right,
you have to be able to work through. You have to love. And I used to hear people say it all the time.
love what you do.
Love what you do. Don't do it for the money, because the money
Right.
will come. Do it because you love it. Because when you love it, the grind. And you know what's, and this may be crazy, but when you think back, true motivation is watching athletes, because knowing that a lot of them start at Pee-wee, bodies getting banged up, they ain't getting paid for it. Middle school, high school, college. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All them years, and they ain't getting a dime for it, but they work hard towards their dream. Whether if it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever the case may be, they work hard towards that. So when they was working hard towards their dream to seek out the reality, yeah, they get paid big cash, but at the end of the day, they was working for free for about 18 years to get to that cash that they working so hard towards to get. And they was living in their dream. They was putting their bodies on the line. They was lifting the weights. They was sacrificing their time. And also living in your dream, you have to sacrifice a lot of stuff to get to it, because you can't do the same stuff and expect to get to where you really trying to go.
And also, when you see that you want something different in life, like you just say, you have to sacrifice, because what you have to realize is, let's say you want to be, I don't know, let's say you want to be a writer.
Right.
Yes, you could be around a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying stop being around people, none of that. But if you want to be a writer, the best way to get better is to be around other writers and conversate with other writers. So whatever, I don't care what it is that will feel you going in the beginning, yeah, you may be by yourself until you start getting out there. Like what I have noticed being out here in the Atlanta metro area is that working on a lot of the sets, a lot of the people that will be behind the scene doing the work, they all build relationships. So this is why it's good to be around people who is going in the same dream as you. So let's say you want to be an actor or actress, right?
Right.
Now you get a small role, or you in a background, an extra or whatever on set. You basically get to meet, say like my mama. Me and her, we talking. We never met. We talking now. We exchange numbers.
Right.
She letting me know, oh, they got this coming up. Here, I'm gonna connect you with this. Right. Oh, and then you get something. So in other words, it's best to go into an area where people is almost like in the same thing with you as well, because now you building those relationships. And I feel like those relationships also help your dream along the way.
Right.
Because they making it a little bit more easier. Not where it's gonna be like handed to you, but it's making it make it easier for you, because let's say you going through something for the first time and you say, man, I don't understand. And that person went through it 3 movies ago.
Right.
They'll be like, don't sweat it, because I did the same thing. This was what you got to do.
Right.
Da, 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 da. And that's the same way with somebody who's probably like in medical school. They become friends with somebody who's maybe like a junior in I'm about to say high school, a junior in college, and they like a freshman or a sophomore, and they run into an issue. That junior, that senior, you be like, oh yeah, this all you have to do. Study this way. Here goes some of my own whatchamacallits to help you along the way.
Right.
So I don't care what it is that you want to do in life. If it's a podcast, if it's becoming I don't want to say an influencer. I don't like that word too much. But if you want to start, if you want to start like a YouTube channel, a creator. I like that one better. If you want to become like a YouTube creator or whatever it is, you go start off by yourself, but it's also good to connect with people who's in that field. And I'm not saying remove yourself away from people who's not in that field. No, family, friends, whoever, is all good, because you may have some of them that's in that field too.
Right.
Y'all connect together because now y'all can learn. If you learn something, you could teach and y'all can help each other along the way.
Right.
But like she said, you have to cut some things off at times.
You do.
Because if you trying to get here and this person is wanting to do the same stuff from 10, 15 years ago, all they doing is keep pulling you back.
Right.
So it's making you harder, like a rubber band.
Right.
You trying to move forward, but they got that rubber band
to
tight,
snap you back.
And you not understanding what's going on.
Right.
So, and that'll
in
make
other words, you gotta watch who you you be with, because if they're the people who are trying to make you go backwards, you don't want to go backwards. You want to go forward.
Right. There'd be that rubber band on you.
Because it's like you got people who you was cool with. Y'all was 20 years ago. You know, well, we all old enough. We could say 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I was hanging with this person and we was doing all the same stuff. And 10 years then passed. And it's like, we still doing, they're doing the same stuff, but you like, oh, I don't, that's still my people. But then you start, your mind start evolving towards, I don't want to be like this no more.
Right.
I got to change something. And then, does it hurt to let some people go? It do, because you love them, because you done been with them, but you have to recognize when you outgrew them. It don't make you better than them. It just means your mind evolved towards bigger and better things in life. That means you willing to grow. But in order for you to grow, you may have to let some people go. It could be anybody. It could be from a sibling to a cousin to a daddy to a mama. I'm not saying get rid of your people. I'm just saying sometimes you have to recognize your energy drainers and the people who's not willing to go to that next level with you.
Right.
And you have people who will put you down due to you trying to follow your dreams. And they'll be like, man, this is what you look like, man. This is your job, man. You go to work, you do this, you do that. Like I said once before, there's nothing wrong with working for others if that's what you want to do. But if that's not what you truly want to do, yeah, you can't keep live, because you have to feed your soul what make it happy and joyful.
Right.
Because that's what grow you closer to God, because he wants you to do what's right for you. Basically, he want nothing but joy and happiness for you.
And if you one of those people out there in the world who honestly feel like, man, when I was young, I really wanted to do it.
Right. It's never too late.
Don't. I told my sister this. I remember back in the day, we was living in New Orleans. It had this mom, and she was a doctor. She became a doctor after so many years. I'm not gonna go deep into the story, but she had became a doctor after so many years. She had kids, and she just about raised her kids. But she wanted to be a doctor when she was younger, and she had started college. I want to say it's been over 20-something years from the story. But long story short, she went back and she became a doctor. I didn't see people graduate from college that's in their 70s. And it's always a blessing to see that, because they didn't let society, fully derail. Yes, it may have took them off track for a little while, but they went back to what their dream was. And that's always a beautiful thing to see. So go after your dreams. Don't let the society tell you too old, you not good enough. Because guess what? Like she said earlier, when you do your first drawing, it may not look like the person you want it to look like. But when you go back at it each time,
you get better.
It's going to eventually start looking like the person you wanted it to look like. So
you have to put the work in. You have to put the work in for whatever it is, because you're never going to get better if you don't put the work in. That's like going to school. If you go to school and you want to pass them tests, what you got to do? You got to study. And you got to study so you could pass those tests. Nothing comes easy. You have to put work in. I go to even video games, since I play them sometimes. Well, I'm going to say I play them all the time. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. But no, like for instance, 2K. When your man first start, he is trash. I know mine's be trash. But as time go on, you get better and better. Why? Because you put the work in. You put the work in to get that man better. So why not
Okay.
in life you not do the same thing for yourself? Just
Right.
because it's no difference in playing that video game to make your man better and then being in life and making your life better. It's no difference in it.
Mhm.
It's just one is you living in real life and the other is one you play on the game. But at the end of the day, it all correspond as one.
Right.
You trying to get better at whatever you're doing. So you got to work towards your dream
Mhm.
and turn it into your reality if that's what you really want to do.
And for those who probably say, okay, I don't have a dream, I'm going to use this analogy. Let's say, for instance, you're in your house and your house is dirty, but you want your house clean. It ain't going to just happen when you pick up the first thing. No, you have to constantly pick up,
Pick
clean,
up.
wipe, sweep, mop
Okay.
for it to be clean.
Right.
So your dream is to have your house clean.
Right.
But your reality right now is that it's dirty. But you not staying in that reality. You working to get it clean.
Right. That's true. Anything you got to say, Ma?
I know.
I'm just-
I'm listening in, girl.
It's okay. Sometimes it's gonna be like that because you never know. You never know what nobody will get from what, and also sitting around people with conversations that
Mhm.
you don't always have to. No offense to my mom, I'm just saying this just to say this because you don't always have to have something to say in
Right.
the rooms that you walk into. Because the lessons
Sometimes you have to be just an observer to
And
what's
a
being
listener,
said
right.
and listen.
Right, because you have to sometimes you have to sit back and just learn and pay attention. You don't always have to be the life of the party in the room. Sometimes somebody may say you may be sitting in a seminar or you may be sitting in an office somewhere and a whole bunch of people in there talking and the whole thing is boring. But somebody will say 2 sentences and it's gonna be like, oh, that's what I was missing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's gonna be now you're interested. Now you're sitting there paying attention, like
You're
okay,
locked in.
right? Because they said something to get your attention.
Yeah, because all the analysis that y'all broke down, that one Ronnie just used, I said, oh,
Right.
yeah, about the how y'all and stuff. I said, oh,
right. That's what it is.
All right,
that's what it is. It's like it's with anything in life. You want to lose weight, work out. You don't have to start out full blown workout like people who've been working out for 5-10 years. You ain't gonna be on their level in one day because you just started.
Right. You may have to start with
5 minutes.
Right. 3-5 minutes.
Right.
3-5 minutes workouts.
Right.
Because that's what I do. Come on now.
Like for instance, my mom walk every day just about. I went out there the other day to walk with that girl. I was like, whoo, I'm tired. But I pushed through. I had no choice because who was gonna bring me back home? But you have to start. You have to start
right
to basically, like for instance, I like also starting on the bike.
Mm-hmm.
The most I could go is 2 minutes and 15 seconds. At one point, I was at 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
But when I stopped using it for a while, but now
the thing.
You just gotta keep going. You want to get to a thing, and it's not just a losing weight; it's being in shape. For me, mine is more being in shape. Yeah, the weight you wanted to go, but it's like being in shape. So if me being in shape, that means I gotta get up every day, put the work in to make it my reality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's the truth, and you have to stick to it because I noticed on them walks, like, and then say like, oh, I ain't walking this week. When I go back, it's like starting all over again.
Yep, exactly.
It's like starting all over again. So I try to be determined to do what I said I'm gonna do and keep climbing this stuff. Because now when I climb the hills, I have no problem.
Right. And it's the same thing with another analogy I'm gonna use. So if you're a person that love to cook, right? So say you love to cook. No, what I'm saying, say you're a person that love to cook, right? And your dream is to get the whole meal finished so your family could eat it. But guess what? when all your seasonings and everything is still in the cabinet, you have to start. That's the reality.
Right.
It's in the cabinet. It's the food is in the cabinets, the refrigerator. But you have to put it all together. So you working through your dream, even if it get
even if you prepping yourself up to do it and stuff,
right?
Because you're trying to get to.
And let's say
you build a system.
And let's say on the route to getting finished, you get burned or something. You not gonna stop. You gonna keep going. You gonna be like, dang. But you gonna keep going.
Exactly.
That's the same way with that's the same way with living in your dream and not your reality. Your dream is to finish that meal. So things will happen. I done seen people cut themselves or whatever and take care of it and go right back to it. That's the same way with when you looking to do something in life, and no matter what it is, you go get cuts, you go get burns, you go get bruises, but you have to keep going. Learn your lesson. So if you was holding that knife like this too close,
you ain't gonna do that.
You're not gonna do that no more. You gonna probably have your hand way back here, bitch.
Right. It's just, and you just have to keep. And I could use another person, like, just, I know I keep going back to sports, but I'ma just say somebody like, for instance, Steph Curry, the way he shoot the ball. He didn't just come out his mama womb just shooting threes like that, like half court and all that. Like
something he worked on.
That was something I don't think I've ever witnessed until he came along. But a lot of kids inspired to be like that, to be like a Steph. But he had to work towards that. He had to learn that. Serena and Venus, who started off young. Nobody knew who they was gonna be. You got Simone Biles. Nobody knew she was gonna be who she was. You know what I'm saying? When they started out, but guess what? They did it, but they had to work towards that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They had to become something that, you know what I'm saying? You have to separate, not just talking about them, but in life in general. It's not just separating yourself from people. It's about separating yourself from things that's not good for you. You trying to lose weight, you know what food you eating that's not good for you. You trying to get in shape, you know what you need to do it. You trying to be a content creator, you know you got to do certain things to become that the content creator that you want to be. Football player, you know the amount of weight you have to use, what speed you have to be at. You know what you have to do to get to those things. So do it. Don't dread it. Don't procrastinate it, because now you setting yourself up to be in just your reality and you're not living your dream. But if you're working towards it, that's how you live in your dream and not your reality.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, it's so many things in life that you could use and go with. Driver's license. I got my driver's license late. I was like 24 years old when I got 23, 24 years old when I got it. I failed the driving test 2 times before I actually got it. But I knew I wanted a license because I wanted my car. So I had to work towards that. I had to keep practicing. My good old sister over here, V, used to just let me drive her around. I was her driver, Miss Daisy.
Don't play.
But
you know Miss Daisy was an old lady, right? What you trying to say?
I'm just playing.
Oh no.
But no.
You should do that better part than your mama.
No, but no, V used to, well, you too. I used to drive you around too, but
still do.
Huh?
Still do, because I have no license.
We do, but it's like at the end of the day, it's just working towards stuff. It's so many things I could use in life. Getting a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to work towards all of that. I had to stand in the rain. I had to stand in the cold. I had to stand in the burning hot heat. But I knew I wanted a car, so I did what I had to do. I didn't see my reality at the time. I'd seen what I wanted to do in the future. And it came true.
And the same thing for anyone who is at the point where they starting with whatever it may be.
Right.
Or they thinking about starting. I'm going to just say start.
Right.
And then if you have started, keep going. You done did the hard part. The hard part is starting. The next hard part would be keep going.
That's the best medicine.
So
to start.
Right. So just keep going, because it's gonna work out. You go have bumps and lumps and bruises along the way.
Tears and everything.
Yep. You go cry because you don't understand what's going on. But what you don't do is compare your path to somebody else's.
That's the part.
Because somebody else didn't already went through all their heartache, their pain, their hurt, and everything. But you have to learn everything that you have to learn along your own journey.
Right.
And I think a lot of times we be in a place where, oh man, this one did this and it worked for them, and this one did this and it worked for them. But don't nobody know what that person was going through 5 years ago. Because some people be on certain journeys for years before you even see who they are.
Right.
How many times out there you have watched a movie, a old TV show, and you will see an actress or actor when it was way young? You be like, oh, that's such and such. That's because you may have seen them once they blew up from this role, but that person been acting, trying to get in 15, 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
And that's the same way with everyone that's on whatever journey it is.
Right.
Once you see somebody at a certain place, a lot of people have the assumption like, oh, it happened to them overnight. But the whole while, they've been working and grinding for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And it's just that at this point, God is finally like, okay, my child, you ready? And a lot of people think it was overnight success, but the whole while, it really wasn't. They had to go through their tears at night. They had to go through their questioning and like, is I'm really cut out for this? Am I really supposed to be doing this? So don't never put your journey, don't never compare your journey to someone else's journey. Y'all paths are different.
Totally.
So move on your own path that God have chose for you. Learn what you got to learn. Take your hits, take your bruising,
never give up.
And never give up.
That part. You can't give up on yourself because, like V said, you can't compare, because comparison is the root of all evil. Because when you start comparing your journey to someone else's, you're gonna fail, because it's like you go fail regardless, because that's just a part of the journey.
You're gonna make mistakes.
You're gonna make mistakes. No, and when you compare yourself to somebody else, that's not the path God wanted you to take. So you have to,
right.
Don't compare yourself to somebody else.
No, and I get mistakes, but when I say fail, we all fail. But failure don't mean it's the end. Failure is the beginning, because for you to fail, you have to start something. And for you to start something, you can't compare it to others. You have to compare it to yourself. You have to compare it to yourself, like when you mess up. Oh, as we say, make a mistake, whatever it may be. You have to basically be like, oh, how can I get better right here? You have it, but you also have to hold you accountable. You have to be like,
that's the thing right there.
I have to, that's what I did wrong. I got to fix that next time. But something else go happen.
Right.
But at least you fixed the first problem. And it's holding yourself accountable. And that's how you get to the point of basically, you just go be perfection in your own way. No one's perfect. Nope. Nobody do anything perfect, because perfect just a word. In life, that is not that don't even exist. There is not a human being that walked this earth, I don't care who there is perfect. Nobody. So you go make your mistakes, you go mess up, but if you fail at something, that don't mean give up. That mean fight harder to keep on going, because you want to get to your dream, because your dreams is your dreams. That's your desire. That's something you pray for. That's something you consistently think about. That's something that's on your heart. You just consistently doing it. So I would say just keep on fighting and keep on going, because it's your dreams, man. Right. It's like I can't tell you how to fight for your dreams any harder, because it's like at the end of the day, everybody have their own desires, and you do have your moments where you want to give up. And those moments of giving up is the moments of you're not living in a reality of what your life is looking like in front of you now. But when you fight through that, now you living in your dream, because now you fighting past. Right. You know what I'm saying? You fighting past what your reality is showing you. Yeah, you might be working on a 9-to-5 job that you do not want to be on, but your dream is to be this #1 bookseller. Guess what? Keep writing that book, right. #1 author. Keep writing that book. Why you working at 9-to-5? That's your reality. That's how you got to eat. But your dream is to be the #1 author in the world. So keep working towards that. It's gonna happen. You just got to keep fighting for it. You just got to keep putting in the work and keep putting in all. You just got to keep on going. Never stop. Never stop living in your dream. Never. Is there a moment, V? Because I didn't give up a couple analogies of me living in my dream, working towards my reality, well, living in my dream and not my reality. Is there any moments where it ever happened to you that you could think of?
Yes, like recently last year I honestly started drawing again in 2024. I started redrawing and everything, but it was years that I stopped because of different things. That was me living in reality where no matter what was going on in life, I should have still been picking up them pencils and drawing. That was,
Proud of you, by the way.
Oh, thank you, girl. I fell into a reality. But even though I always knew I wanted something different and something more,
Right.
it wasn't being rich. Like that never was the it moment for me. Like some people would be like, it's the money, money, money. It's not that for me. To me, it was always helping. You know what I'm saying? No matter where. So if I would earn, I felt like I could help. But I feel like in my reality, I lost sight of what I actually wanted to do.
Right.
And that was earn so I could help.
Right.
And I feel like I stepped off the path a little bit.
Yeah.
And even though now that I'm going back to the path, and I've been on this path and this journey for like years now, since we've been out here and going, one thing will go wrong, but we just keep going. We may take a break. But I want to say this last time, we kind of was healing. And I think that's the part that helped the most because you really do have to heal.
You do.
Because it helps and you see things clearer. So yes, I did have moments where I fell to the reality and forgot about the dream.
Right.
And those was two. Like, so when I say that, to go back to the point of now I understand I'm doing this not just for me, not just for my family, but even
for others, because you
for
want to help
others.
others.
Right.
So this is what keep me focused. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, because I talk to you a lot, and I remember one time.
I hope you talk to me a lot.
I remember one time you had said something about what was it? It was something about if you give your sister so much money, and you was like, I gotta be careful with my sister because she been and gave it all away or something like that.
No, it was like, would you body slam your sister for?
No, not that and that. It was something else that happened. And you was like, you had to give some money to your sister. It was something like that. And you was like, the only thing about giving you all that money was you had been to give it all away.
I'm proud of me too, because I'm one of my dream is to help people. Like you just be listening and hearing things and stuff and say, I wish I could help. I wish I could do that. You know, if I was financially, I will help them do this. I will help them do that. I know me.
Right. You have to, and something you said about is not about about the rich part. You have so many people who have millions in the bank but have a broke mindset.
Right.
And in having a broke mindset and having money in the bank, yeah, your bills will get paid, but for how long? Because if your mind is broken, you're gonna all you're gonna do is fall back into the same ways that you've been doing when you was broke in the bank account and broke in the mind. So if you're gonna get to that level, that's why you have to love what you do.
Right.
Because once you love what you do, now you healing, now you figuring out your mistakes, now you growing, now you healing yourself mentally and physically and emotionally. Now you trying to figure it out. But being rich, I tell anybody that being rich in the bank account, that don't mean nothing.
It's not.
Compared to being rich in the mind.
Because you could have all the money that you want, but that still don't mean you happy.
Right.
Like, money don't buy you happiness. If you have to have money to call yourself being happy, then you have a long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever problems and issues you have while you were broke, you're going to have them same problems and issues, but probably 100 times worse when you have money.
Facts.
So
Facts.
I would say, that's why I told you once before, I thank God when I was back in the day when I was in my teens and my early 20s and all that, through it, in the early days look at me, the early days. But when I was young,
that was so long ago.
right. When I was young, I kept going, clothing line. I was trying to do so much. I was out there trying to make so much, happen. I look back and I tell you a lot, like, I thank God he didn't bless me back then, because I still would have been helping, but it would have been to the point where I didn't know you don't fish for the person. You teach the person how to fish. I didn't understand that concept back then. And me, I would have been fishing for everybody. And it didn't matter how much they need or when they need it, how they needed it. I'd have just been like, all right, I could just make this happen here, here, here. And I probably would have got burnt out, and who knows what would have happened.
Yep.
So now I understand. I'd rather teach you how to fish than for me to fish for you. Because one thing about me teaching you how to fish, you could always fish for yourself and feed your family.
Right.
But if you depended on me and something happened to me, how you go feed your family?
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's
so
real.
That's why I like that saying. When I heard that quote, I was like, I love that quote.
Right. Right. What about you, man? Anything you have left to say?
No.
No. Well, y'all, today that's going to end our podcast of living in your dream and not your reality. So go out there, be a dream chaser, chase your dreams, chase and work hard for them. Never stop, keep going. No matter what come your way, you keep fighting for what's for you, because it's designed for you. God put that in your soul, in your spirit for you. So until next time, peace and love. See y'all on the next episode. But before you go, make sure you hit that like, that share, that subscribe. Drop some comments in the drop some comments in the comment section if y'all have any questions, if y'all have anything to say upon the topic, or if y'all want to hear us talk about anything, just let us know. So we'll see y'all on the next episode.